Right, I'm looking forward to Ask this week because we've got Neil with us and it's a great chance for us to chat about mountain bikes. Neil, how are you?
I'm good, I'm ready for Ask. We've got lots of good questions this week.
Let's get in there, let's do it.
First one is from Tommy Saarinen, who comments quite a lot, Tommy. What do I do because I just can't wait for the riding season to start? I'm dying.
Oh no, you feel, this time of year I get so excited because it's all the big races about to start and then the energy for riding yourself comes in and I get well pumped.
So when does it start, Martin?
Well, World Cup cross country starts on the 10th of March in Stellenbosch.
South Africa.
Yeah,
my calendar then says Crankworx Road to Rua a week after that, and then Cape Epic as well.
Oh.
Then we've got the EWS, 1 in Chile, 2 in Colombia, so it kicks off in a couple of weeks' time.
Once it starts, it's non-stop, isn't it? For what, 3 months?
It's pretty long than that.
Probably longer than that, yeah. I guess it is, 4, yeah. A good bit of riding coming up, so not long to wait now, not long to wait.
On a racing note as well, Bike MTB has asked, what would you advise as a training plan for enduro racing?
Well, that's probably one for you, Neil, because you've actually done it.
I have done. I've my fair share of enduro racing. It's a mix of endurance training and some sprint stuff as well. I find, personally, I would do all my interval stuff on a turbo trainer and then do lots of longer rides, so 3 or 4 hour mellow rides, especially pre-season, and then start amping them up, doing a bit more intense stuff coming towards the race season. But it's a case of mixing up 2 types of training, I think, enduro training. Right. We have done a video on it, so have a look after this one for that one.
Personally, I avoid training.
Do you? I actually quite like it.
Yeah, I tend to find I get tired.
Yeah. And like Trump says, doesn't he say that it's once you've got an expendable amount of energy and once you've used it, that's it?
Oh God, really?
We all know he speaks sense.
God, I'm going to keep really still.
All right, okay. Biking Scotsman, how can you hold your speed through sections? I sometimes find myself getting caught up in very rooty sections and flat rocky sections.
Well, it is easy to do, isn't it, to find the holes. I tend to find that speed sometimes is your friend going into a section. Often there's a little gem of a root or a rock at the beginning of a section that over time has got used by riders, and you can quite often find a line off that first little rock. You know, that one that's like, oh, there's something there, kick off it and you can find the route through.
Yeah. Miss the bumps out, basically.
Miss the bumps out. I mean, you must have scattered through a million things. You're the guy for keeping speed, blimey.
Well, I do talk about this a lot, how-to videos, especially route sections. There's one coming up very soon where it's trying to unweight or hop over those routes, so you basically don't let them slow you down.
And how do you do that, Neil? How do you stay light? I mean, you're known for just like blitzing through things super smooth, but the bike's just done so much work. How do you stay that light on the bike?
It's a case of pumping's a big one for speed as well, but then pumping, and it's the bunny hop basically, but you can do it in sort of really tiny scale versions.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily jumping the whole section, you're just unweighting. So you think about your sort of the pressure on your tyres, you're taking the pressure off your tyres ever so slightly, so they tap into them a little bit lighter rather than slapping in, and that makes a big difference to your speed that way.
Oh, you make it sound easy. I make it look hard.
Will Peterson is asking about some body armour. He says, do I need a neck brace for riding bike park?
Oh, you know what? I don't know what I think about the old neck brace, because I looked into it after I had my accident before I started riding. I was thinking I'm probably going to always have to have like a neck brace on, and I tried one on, and I found it quite restrictive. Yeah. There is an argument that it doesn't necessarily protect you to the point of like, you know, you can just not worry about a neck injury. I mean, it's an assistance, but I don't know. I've never really worn one enough to sort of think it's something I want to wear all the time, you know?
I'm certainly not qualified to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of it, but it's funny, it's one of those things you've seen come and go. I remember G. Atherton used to wear one for a while,
and doesn't
Dan
now.
Atherton broke his neck actually, and doesn't wear it now. Motocross, they come and go. Yeah. It's completely up to you. You've got to look at the pros and cons of it. I always wear some body armour, definitely knee pads, you know, a set for cross-country riding.
Yeah, Danny Hart, doesn't he wear a neck brace?
Does he still wear one? I think he probably does actually, yeah.
You know what, it'd be good to know if you're wearing one actually and what your views are of it, because we clearly haven't got the experience on this one, so let us know what you think about the old neck brace.
And have a look at a video which is Bike Park Guide for Beginners.
Whether it's your first time in the park or your millionth, it's important to ride smart. Take it easy to start with and build yourself up. Don't go crazy on your first run. Keep it chilled and progress from there.
I wouldn't recommend coming into this park with a cross-country bike. They're not suitable for all that aggressiveness and it won't be safe.
Now, whether you're brand new to the sport or you've got some years of experience, never underestimate what one of these coaches could do for your riding. They know so much about moving your ability onto the next level, but also about the bike park itself, which trails will be right for you, what will be safe, but also enjoyable, so you can maximise your experience here at the bike park. Never underestimate how much one of these coaches could move you on and improve your riding.
A question from Silver Fox. Is this you, Martin? Is this your pseudonym?
Oh, nice. Like it. Clever.
Is carbon or aluminium frame better for enduro or and downhill trails? I think the carbon's too fragile for this kind of trails. I don't want to spend a lot of money and a week after have a bike to waste. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've ridden a lot of carbon bikes. I've never, ever had a problem with one. Ever. I just don't. I think it's really easy to think that carbon is fragile and weak. You can flick it and you're like, wow, it sounds like plastic. Is plastic. It's very clever plastic.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And saying that, I love an aluminium bike as well. I think sometimes they can be really beautiful. I do like an aluminium bike.
I've broken and cracked countless aluminium frames.
That's true. I've done the same. Yeah.
I've never broken a carbon frame myself. Yeah. I've also seen both break. I have seen carbon frames break. I've seen carbon bars break. I've seen aluminium bars break.
Yeah.
Nothing's indestructible. However, I remember seeing a video of a carbon road frame being crushed in a vice. And they wound the vice up till it almost touched, undid it again, it went pop, and it was back as it was.
Yeah.
So it can be really strong.
Yeah, although we do not recommend putting your bike in a vice.
We could try it. We should try it.
I mean, you can try it, but if you do, please video it. I'd love to see that. I wouldn't love to see that, I meant.
One thing to say is carbon is not recyclable at the moment. That's worth
mentioning. That's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point.
Of course, metal is. Any metal is, I suppose.
Yeah. Melt it down.
Jack's Land. What do the different sizes of discs do to a bike? So how do they perform differently? Bigger, smaller disc brakes?
Well, if you've got a bigger disc, you often see it on the front, bigger disc, you've got more stopping power because basically the pads are grabbing the wheel further out from the hub. And they've got a bit more leverage at the end of the day. Also, I guess it's heat dissipation is...
More material means on the longer downhills, they don't get as hot as a smaller disc. So for a downhill bike, they always have the big discs and they will get virtually red hot, so you can't touch them at the bottom downhill race. Whereas a cross-country bike, you can get away with them being smaller. They won't get as hot, and obviously they're a bit lighter as well. 140, 160 is your average middle-of-the-road trail enduro bike. 200 for downhill, 120 for cross-country, 100 for cross-country. Yeah,
trials bikes are 200 front and back pretty much.
Yeah.
Because, you just want as much braking.
You don't have Magura rim brakes anymore?
Not anymore, not anymore. That was back when my hair wasn't grey.
Ryder Tate, I'm very confident when it comes to big jumps and gnarly rock sections, but I'm terrified to do drop-offs. Can you give me some advice?
Well, that's interesting because I used to be the opposite. Like I'd be a little bit scared of big doubles.
Yeah.
Drop-offs I would do all day long, so I felt like I could keep my front high.
Drops to flat are pretty nasty things though still, aren't they? Big old drops to flat.
I think as a trials you get really used to dropping to flat. And dropping back wheel first. So drop-offs never scared me. So maybe that's something to think about. Going off smaller drops and getting that back wheel down first with confidence. And it gives you the confidence later when you hit a trail that when you see a drop going wrong, you can get that back wheel down. Because the worst thing on a drop is going off and front wheel going down and you're going OTB.
Massive O-turbs.
Yeah.
I did it in my childhood doing trials on my mountain bike, went to wheelie off a big concrete step and my chain snapped. And I went, knock these teeth right in.
Nasty,
for the first time.
And talking about going over the bars, why don't you take a look at this video that will help you stop doing just that.
I'm sure we've all done it and occasionally still do, but this is how to try and avoid it. Even when it gets slippery, if your weight's a little bit too far forward and you use that too much, you can get going over the bars.
Oh, no, again.
Puddles, rocks, or even roots are going to want to swallow your front wheel. So the way to deal with these is just to take weight off that front wheel. Sometimes it's just a case of dropping your heels and sliding your weight back. Other times you're going to need a really good manual to keep your front wheel up and stop it from stalling and sending you up and over.
Alexei Horak, you've never mentioned first aid kits. Do you carry them?
Yes. When Neil's around, always carry a first aid kit. is my experience.
I have one in the back of my car I take everywhere. I can't remember last time I used it. I guess I'm unconscious normally, so someone else has to use it.
Usually someone uses it for you. Yeah, it's definitely a great idea. Have one with you. I've got one in the back of my van. Yeah, they do come in handy.
I've used slings actually on other people a few times.
Have you?
Yeah, tied them up. Even a inner tube.
Yeah, I was about to say inner tube makes a great sling.
Zip ties. I bet Doddy can make one out of a zip tie.
What zip tie? Can,
Well, zip ties.
Doddy actually stitches people up with zip ties.
He does, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Callum Irvine, hello. I've recently had a bad sprain on my ankle and I've been instructed to take 6 to 8 weeks off the bike. Any advice on how to recover better so that time can be shortened? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Wow, you've got the right man here. But before you go, I'm gonna say, actually, don't be tempted to rush it too much.
Ooh, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm
because
7 months on from a broken ankle and it's still not much better than it was 2 months after.
Wow, really?
But I think I did come back a little bit too quick. I'm still icing it now. So rest, ice, compression, elevation is really helpful. I find that always works.
I can never remember it. I always just get hungry when I do that. I go, oh, they said rice. Oh, maybe Thai green curry. That's what I think.
Rice and physiotherapy.
Yeah.
Always do that.
And don't rush it. Don't be tempted to rush it. 6 to 8 weeks isn't long. And if you get it wrong and you come back too soon, then you could be going from square one all over again. So don't be tempted.
Gustavo Gonzalez, what are the advantages of running a bigger tyre in the front, say 2.9 with a 2.2 inch tyre, than on the back, which is a 2-inch tyre?
Yeah, I was really interested in this question because I remember when I first started racing around on BMXs, they always used to have a massive front tyre and a tiny little rear tyre.
True.
And I always used to think, oh, it would look so much cooler if it was the other way around. It would look like a motorbike. And it used to do my head in. So why is that?
Well, I think that's actually, it is a bit old school. I definitely used to do it on my rigid bikes and with front suspension. Yeah. I think that's more about a bit of adding a bit more suspension with a wider tyre.
Yeah.
However, now I can't remember the last time I ran a thinner tyre on the rear.
Really?
I run front and back, 2.4, whatever it is, both the same.
Wow, okay.
So I think it is more about shock absorption than anything else.
Yeah.
I guess I do run a semi-slick sometimes if it's really hot and dry, but I don't do that very much anymore, to be honest. So.
I always used to think that the big tyre and the rear tyre at the back would mean that the back tyre would carve round quicker and follow that front end, but be interesting. If there's any old school BMXers out there who used to race track, let us know. Or actually, anyone racing BMX right now, because that is sick. I love watching BMX racing. It's incredible.
Definitely, big fan. Anirua Alahara, how can I be competitive in the Red Bull pump track worlds on a trail hardtail?
Wow, I don't know how to say this without sounding harsh, but like, if you're asking that question, then the only answer is ride a lot of pump tracks, stop leaving comments on Ask GMBN. The pump track world is going to be furious.
Have you watched pump track at Crankworks at Whistler? Or any of those races, and Sea Otter is so fast. Yeah. Those guys and girls ride a lot of pump track, a lot of BMX races do that sort of thing, and it's
absolutely,
rapid.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of the most hotly competed races of the year. So you literally haven't got time to comment. You've got to get out and practice now.
I can't wait to see who does do well at those races. I'm thinking Lopes might come out of there.
Yeah,
Mitch Ropolato, super fast.
I mean, I remember watching Manon Carpenter do pump track,
really good,
and I was blown away how fast it is.
I wonder if Manon's going to do it.
How do they get around the track so quick, carrying that speed? So it's gonna be fast, but I cannot wait to see. And what's the name? Sorry.
Yeah, Annie Rude Alhara.
Annie Rude. We're going to be looking out for your name in the pump track worlds, but get practicing.
Check out this video for some help.
About cornering. Braking or not braking, and scanning ahead. You're going to use the pump track to gain these skills, hone them in, and they're easily translated to the trail.
Right, quick fire rounds, as quick as you can.
Let's go.
Tommy KG, does Neil still ride downhill bikes? No, but I still do the same style of ride and I just pedal my bike back up.
Yeah, do you miss it? Did you miss it?
No, because I do exactly the same thing just on a trail bike.
Yeah, you still go pretty fast, to be fair.
But just don't ride down. Powell or Maniac do a show with the camera operators, not behind the cameras, but on bikes.
I would love to see that. We have got some great creators, one behind us, and they love riding bikes. They're all bike enthusiasts, so I think we should do that very soon.
Some of them are even better than falling off bikes than we are. Jack, for one. Awesome wargaming. Do any of you take any interest in other sports? Any other sports?
Yeah, me. I'm absolutely loving the Winter Olympics at the moment.
I am, yeah.
I love that. Love motocross.
Yeah.
Love MotoGP. That's actually a lot of bikes now. I love bikes.
I'm obsessed by motocross. Surfing, do you like that? That's about it. Really.
Yeah, I like a bit of surfing. I like any sport that can be made to look good. But then I was watching curling yesterday, and it was good.
Really?
Yeah.
I turned off when the curling came on. Julian Harold, this one's for Martin. Why do so many comp trials riders prefer cage pedals instead of flat pedals? Or platform pedals, I would call them.
Yeah.
Hope you can clear that one for me.
Is weight. On a trials bike, you just want it as light as you can, and you can get a cage pedal super sharp, but super light.
I've not noticed that. It's the old sort of bear trap style.
Yeah, they'll take just so it's one cage around the outside, small as you can, file them sharp. Yeah, deadly.
Is that why they still use Magura brakes?
They do not still use, actually some riders do.
Oh, they're
some
disc brakes. I'm
do.
talking about hydraulic rim brakes.
Yeah, some still do.
No AFK. It'd be cool if you hid a little Dan Lloyd somewhere in the shed, and if spotted by a viewer, they could win a prize.
Little Dan Lloyd does those tricks. He never gets annoyed. He's not a plaything, okay? We're not just going to put him
Dan
around
Lloyd
the set,
Kid?
so you can play with him. He's a person. You stay there, dude. Don't you worry. I've got your back.
Travis VN, is a dropper post on a hardtail cool or not?
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, it's fine.
Dropper posts are just cool.
Yeah.
They're great. You'll never go without one again. Guy, have you got a dropper post?
No.
See Guy shake head like this.
Ivan Abele, can you wheelie your wheelchair, Martin? Yes, you can.
I
You do it all
can
the time.
even balance it like
Don't go back. Don't loop back.
that. But sometimes I go that way and fall out and look like a total dickhead. But yeah, never mind. It happens. That's enough quickfire rounds. I want to get on to correct me if I'm wrong, Neil.
Okay.
Last week we had a question about, actually a query, how to find out why one person's seat post just wouldn't sit tightened in his seat tube.
What, it kept sliding down?
It just kept sliding no matter how tight you went. Now I suggested that it might be that the bolt's threaded, that he's over tightened it and it's not clamping down. But it seemed to me in the comments from last week's show that lots of people were having this problem. Lots of people said, oh, my seat post like that, I just cannot get it tight. And it got me thinking, well, I might have got this wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong this week. Is you correcting me if I'm wrong. Because we also had a comment from Christopher Smith.
I was reading that, yeah.
Yeah.
On the seat post question, if it isn't a thread that strips, clean it up properly, no grease anywhere, then use anti-seize compound. It's a bit like toothpaste, that's what I did. I was going to say that, like fibre grip, like carbon fibre grip, that works for anything. It's like pasty stuff with tiny sort of bits of, I'm going to say sand, it's not sand, but bits in it.
Yeah.
I've never had this problem, to be honest.
That's strange because we had a few people in the comments say they had it. I wondered if maybe it was like slightly different sizes.
You can obviously get different size posts. They're not quite as many as they used to be. There's probably 3 most common sizes now. Stupid sizes, that annoys me.
Yeah.
31.6, 30.9. Who came up with 0.9 of a millimetre? It's a stupid size. Why? There's got to be a reason, but it can't be good enough, in my opinion.
I don't know. Right, well, I'm really perturbed by that problem. I really hope you get it solved, but it was interesting that lots of people are having it. I'm imagining lots of people's seats just slamming down as they ride along.
It'd be really annoying, yeah.
Okay, thanks for watching this week's Ask GMBN. It's been good fun. Thanks for helping out, Neil.
It was a lot of fun. Leave your questions down below if you want them answered next week.
Yeah, and if you want to see more videos from us, why don't you check out this Insane Crashes video that me and Blake took a look at last week. It was all the best bits from Fails and Bells in the Dirt Shed show.
And if you want to see an insane bike and a bike check, click up there for Ethan Nell's Pro Bike Check.
Yeah, hit the globe to subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up, even if it's only for little Dan Lloyd. Thank you.